Uh, there's another article in Wired. No, it's not about that. Calm down. This was published yesterday, September 11th, 2025, Thursday. Charlie Kirk's shooting took place on Wednesday, September 10th. And within 24 hours, there is now a doxing website set up, screenshotting people who say mean things about Charlie Kirk, and they're being funneled to a website that I'm going to talk about in a minute called charliesmurderers.com, which they got one thing wrong. It should be singular. Charlie's Murderer, the 22-year-old white, straight, cisgendered young man who was arrested in Utah today, who was raised by Republican Trump-supporting parents and was raised with guns his entire life. That's Charlie's Murderer, not people who said mean things about Charlie Kirk online. This article is written by David Gilbert. Headline: Right-wing activists are targeting people for allegedly celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Subtitled: Extremists and an anonymously run website are posting identifying details about people accused of celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder online. Some of those targeted are now getting death threats. When you go to that website, it just has some text. It says, Charlie Kirk was murdered. Is an employee or a student of yours supporting political violence online? Look them up at this website. Send information on anyone celebrating Charlie's death. Is celebrating something the same as being violent? I'm curious as to what their editorial standards are on this website. Email us, there's an address. Follow us on Twitter. Then in bold type, attention. We have received nearly 20,000 submissions. This website will soon be converted into a searchable database of all 20,000 submissions, filterable by general location and job industry. This is a permanent and continuously updating archive of radical activists calling for violence. Wait, let me go back to that first part. Send information on anyone celebrating Charlie's death. Radical activists calling for violence. How do you call for violence against someone who's already dead? And then, of course, there's a donation tab because it's always all about the grift. Underneath where it says radical activists calling for violence, it says, this is the largest firing operation in history to get people fired, disclosing information about them for the purpose of getting them fired. There's a tab up on the top of this website that says About. Bear in mind that last sentence that I just read from the homepage. This is the largest firing operation in history. When you click on the About page, the first sentence is, this is not a doxing website. So already I know that they don't have any attorneys on staff. This website is a lawful data aggregator of publicly available information. It has been created for the purposes of public education. This website is the largest firing operation in history. That is clear incitement. That is clear instructions to people who come to this website and see someone and their employment information is listed for that person to call that employer. These people don't know what the fuck the word doxing actually means. It's not a legal term, but there are statutes in just about every single state making it a crime of disseminating, even if it's publicly available information, for the purpose of causing harm or harassment or getting someone fired. That is a criminal offense. It is in California. And this website popped up less than 24 hours after Charlie Kirk was killed because people were saying mean things about Charlie Kirk on the internet. Continuing on, we seek to collect and archive instances of individuals promoting or glorifying of political violence, much like archive.org or archive.is. I don't know what those are. We firmly denounce all political violence and criminal activity. This website explicitly encourages criminal activity. It explicitly encourages criminal activity. This website is being converted into a mass searchable database of over 20,000 entries. Our thoughts and prayers are with Charlie Kirk's family. No doubt the people running this website are good Christians. They're good Christians. So their thoughts and prayers or forgiveness are not with somebody or anybody who says anything mean about Charlie Kirk. You fuckers deserve to lose your jobs. And that's what this website is for, because, quote, this is the largest firing operation in history, close quote. That's a crime. That is a crime. Let's look at one of the first entrances on this page. A young woman from Canada, I will not say her name, posted the following thing. I'm terrified to think of how far-right fans of Kirk, aching for more violence, could very well turn this into an even more radicalizing event. Will they now believe their fears have been proven right and feel they have a right to, quote, retaliate, close quote, regardless of who was actually behind the initial shooting? I don't see anything in there celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I don't see anything in there calling for violence. I see a person asking a very reasonable question about, will this cause more violence? Someone who is not identified in an anonymous account responded to this by saying, Charlie Kirk is a Nazi, and there exists an undeniable moral and ethical imperative to kill Nazis. I'm quoting from that person. That person is not identified or doxed on this website. The young woman who left that first comment to which that reply was left is. She responded to that comment by saying, I don't believe violence is ever the answer. It just makes everything worse. That was the point with this post. I don't want to live in a world where this is how we resolve disagreements. This event risks bringing that world closer to reality. I hope Charlie survives. Her closing words were, I hope Charlie survives. So this website fucking doxed her. They doxed her. They doxed her on a website which is an archive of radical activists calling for violence. Please tell me where, in her words, she called for violence. Please tell me, in her words, where she celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk that landed her getting doxed on this website that is the largest firing operation in history. Quote. This website is political violence. Every single thing about this website is political violence. MAGA are crybaby snowflakes, man. And now they have a taste for violence. Now they have a taste for violence. They're posting the names, locations, and employers of young people from all across the country. They are going to get somebody killed. This website is going to get additional people killed. Home addresses.